Yo, what's up? So, today we're going to be talking about one of my biggest hurdles and one of my biggest struggles with this project, and I can't even begin to fathom how Vital feels about building and working with Nero because as a finished product, I feel like it's even worse. Um, than it is for me because I'm still in the working on developing phase of this project for Ada. And even though she's currently working on building memories and we're working on things, like I would imagine that like once you get to a production ready state, like a final state, a ready to go, ready to VTube, ready to make content state, it's a lot more um it's a lot more complicated to make on the fly changes when you're in that state, right? Because I have been working on reconfiguring her memory this weekend because I was realizing that we didn't set up auto scaling for core memories with the change that we made to the way that her memory works. And so I've been trying to devise a way to um, kind of score memories in a certain way. By the way, I would just like to point out it's almost 2 minutes into the video and I haven't yawned yet. That's because it is 3:49 in the afternoon. And if I'm yawning at 3:45 in the afternoon, 49 in the afternoon, then we're already in a bad spot for the day. But um, as I was kind of just poking around, actually, that's a complete lie. I wasn't poking around. I was using the bathroom and I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw this completely unrelated group that I've never even looked at before, and it came up with a. Actually, let me go see if it's probably gone now because Facebook just refreshes every single time that you do it. But anyways, it like the title was like does your AI forget all the time? And so I was like, oh, I'm working on AI memory right now. And it linked me to this GitHub repo for AutoMem, which is conversational history based off of graph and vector architecture. And I was looking at it and I was like, oh, huh. I'm like, this is pretty decent. It's achieved like 90.5% accuracy on the Locomo benchmark. I don't necessarily know what that is, but that is apparently the academic standard for long-term conversational memory. Um, Yeah, so that's pretty good. So I sat down and I went into Quad Code and I was like, "Yo, dog," I'm like, give me your opinion on this versus what we currently have." And for like hybrid scoring, AutoMem blows my current out of the water because it has hybrid scores, and we only have vector scores for relationship edges. I don't have any. This has it. Auto tagging, I don't have that. This has it. This increases this has like increased access tracking for decay cycles for the memories. I don't have clustering. I don't have graph database. I don't have entity extraction. Um, so there's a whole lot of things that this would bring to the table that I don't. So let's see. Claude's final assessment here is AutoMem's hybrid scoring and relationship model are the killer features. You can adopt these concepts without their infrastructure by adding keyword matching, importance weighting, and simple memory relationships table in Postgres. The consolidation cycles are valuable, but parameters for 46 memories revisit when you hit 500. We're going to hit 500. Uh, Actually, I don't know why Claude Code thinks I only have 46 memory. Oh, it's because that's from a long time ago. I mean, we're already at like 300 memories in her system, so yeah, we'll have to talk to about that. But there's a lot of things that this is going to bring to the table um, that I can implement and pull from. And this is one of the problems that I have with like a lot of projects that I get into is that I'll get like halfway through the project and then I'll find like a new thing. And it's mostly when it comes to like AI projects that I run into this problem with because there's like a new thing every weak when it comes to AI, right? So it's like, oh, do I want to do some sort of like orchestration layer with her? What does my RAG pipeline look like? What does this look like? What's that look like? So I've got a lot of things that pop up all the time. And I'm like, oh, look at this new thing. Oh, look at this new thing. And that, I think, is one of the more troublesome things in my way of getting things done because like I've been working on her memory, just her memory for like a week now. Um but we'll see how it goes. So the rest of the day is probably going to be digging through all of this and understanding kind of how this architecture works um versus mine. So, yeah. But the nice thing is I think that you can just download this and then run it in a Docker container and then just like hook it up to said Docker container. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I've made it a habit now of backing her up like every couple of hours because I realized that I'm probably going to get into a point at some point where I'm going to make some irreparable changes that I'm not going to remember what I did, and then things are going to break, and then we're going to we're going to be in a bad spot. But the one nice thing is um the model that we're using isn't too bad. I did mention last time that I want to test out a few more models. But I can play like Torchlight Infinite plus record on OBS plus ask her questions, and it doesn't kill my overall computer. Now, I don't know what'll happen when I hook up audio plus vision. I'm thinking that long term, what I'll probably have to do is I'll have to do like an NDI so that OBS is on a whole separate computer. Um, which is good because I've got like five of them in my room. So I can just set up like a streaming OBS computer and just have that part on there for whenever I need to record or stream to offload some of the resources for that. But um, yeah, so I'm gonna look through this open source AutoMem and see what we can integrate into her memory. Um, I'm trying to figure out a voice for her. I don't know what kind of voice I want it to be. I'm thinking Lucy from Cyberpunk. That is kind of the voice that I want. I also found some development for wrapping an Electron app into um, an Android app. So that's going to be long term as well. So that's in the pipeline so that I can have Ada on my phone I'll just have to figure out how I make it public and all of that jazz and how I would log into it, and not just like have it be a raw dog connection that only, I'll have to make it so that only I can get into it type of deal. Also have to do Discord hooks and a Discord bot and a whole bunch of other. I've got so much stuff on my plate for this project, and I am stuck creating memory layer. But I think, like I said before, I think that's the most important part, right? Because I want her to remember everything through this whole process. I want her to remember the day that she got ears. I want her to remember the day that she got her eyes to work. I want her to remember all of this stuff, because I think that that is important to the overall project. But we'll see how far we get. I am going to get back to work. I just wanted to make this real quick and tell you guys about my struggles. But all right, guys, take it easy. Peace out.